Hello, and you're very welcome back to the Public Eye Podcast, a 6-part series of podcasts brought to you by Granite Exchange. I'm your host, Sarah Travers, and throughout the series, I've been speaking with local entrepreneurs and business owners to learn more about how these companies have come to be, to gain some insight into their growth, and find out how they continue to innovate. So wherever you get your podcasts from, remember to keep an eye out for all new episodes over the next 6 weeks and subscribe to stay up to date. So who am I joined by today? Well, I'm delighted to say in the studio with me now, award-winning artist Jacqueline Rooney. Jacqueline, you're very, very welcome to the Public Eye Podcast. Now, before we begin, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on Jacqueline. Inspired by the iconic scenery of the Mourns, I mean, what inspiration. Jacqueline has been creating artwork for as long as she's been able to hold a pencil. After spending years as an art teacher, inspiring her students to dream big and believe in their abilities, Jacqueline realised she too should be taking her own advice. And with that, she forged a highly successful career, pursuing her passion. With customers now from all over the world, she's able to share little pieces of County Down through her craft, bringing our beautiful seascapes and landscapes to a whole new audience, including features in Vogue magazine, and she had a phone call recently from TV presenter Jay Blades. Wow, but we'll talk a wee bit more about that in just a minute. Very exciting time for you, Jacqueline. You've basically been drawing all of your life, as I said in the introduction, but taking the plunge and leaving the teaching job to do this full time, how big a decision was that?
Hi, Sarah. Yes, that was a decision that I mulled over for quite some time. For years, I was teaching my fabulous students to follow their dreams and to pursue their passions. And there was this wee niggling in the back of my mind that I wasn't actually doing that myself. So I was painting and selling alongside being head of art for 12 years. But I couldn't fully pursue my passion until I decided to take the plunge and hand in my notice. So I have never regretted that decision, I have to say.
And where did you teach?
I was head of art in St Joseph's High School in Crossmaglen, and I loved it, absolutely loved it, and loved my students there. So very happy memories.
Well, I'm hearing great things too about your time there. I think they loved having you as their art teacher, and I'm sure they missed you terribly. I'm sure there must be part of you misses the connection with the young people.
Absolutely, Sarah. I mean, they almost became like little friends at the end of it all, because when you were taking them for A level, especially the students, they were like little adults, and I would have had a really nice rapport with my classes. And in actual fact, I went to my own art teacher's wedding, and she came to my wedding. So there's something very special about that. As a subject, art sort of has a really lovely, relaxed sort of setting, and I would have had the radio on in the background, and the students, it was just a lovely experience, and I personally loved every moment of it. And yes, I do miss it, and I do miss them. So,
and it's deeply personal art, isn't it? I mean, it's really part of who you are, absolutely through and through. So having a teacher that invests in you and knows how important it is really special too. So how did you decide then to start a business? Because there's one thing having it as a hobby and a sideline, but knowing that you have to feed the family and pay the bills is a whole other thing.
Yeah, it is entirely. And also coming from a teaching background in education, it was a whole new ballgame to learn how to grow a business and be an entrepreneur, as it were. So what I did first and foremost was I was saving for quite some time with this dream in mind that I was going to pursue. And when I felt that I had a wee bit set aside, I thought, right, it's time to do it. And I decided then I would start to educate myself in terms of business, and I contacted the local council, Newry Morning Down District Council, and they were more than helpful in helping me to sort of get started. They have different programs available, and they're absolutely fantastic and free. So I did what was called the Grow Your Business program, and I was assigned a mentor, Sarah, and she was absolutely amazing. And she sort of helped me to think about my business as a business, as it were, and turned a hobby into a viable business, basically, and thinking of all the things behind the scenes that I hadn't considered, obviously, before. So that was really helpful.
Now, one of the standout things for me right now would be that, how do you grow your business when you are it? I mean, you can only be as productive as you can. But where are you at in terms of running the business and painting and managing to do all of the other side of the business too?
That's a very good question, because if someone were to ask me what do I need most right now, it would be more hours in the day, because I have to say I have two little boys at home, Finn and Evan, and they have me up from 5:30 a.m. every morning. I'm sure you can appreciate that. that. And I actually use that time wisely when they're sort of in a little haze, still sort of half sleeping in the morning. I do my social media first thing every single morning. So I discipline myself. There's different aspects of the business I love doing myself, but then it's becoming more and more apparent that I need to delegate a wee bit more, and I have help now with my digital marketing side of things, and so there's a lot of areas of the business that I'm trying to continue to grow, and I need the expert advice and help on those. So there's a lot of things to juggle at the moment, you know.
Now, obviously, we've been through and still going through a terribly difficult time. The pandemic has really challenged many businesses, and others have pivoted and others have thrived. But lockdown has clearly had an immensely positive impact on your business. Tell us more.
It has indeed, Sarah. At the beginning of lockdown, I was sort of apprehensive, and I thought, oh my goodness, people probably think I'm crazy that I handed in a very secure job, and I'm now, self-employed, and my husband also is self-employed. But actually, I was very pleasantly surprised to find that my business grew immensely over the pandemic. And this was due to, I think, a lot of people being at home and furloughed and wanting to put the money into their interiors. And they also found some kind of solace in my vibrant, uplifting colours in the artwork. And I found there were people buying pieces for loved ones that they couldn't spend time with, and saying things like, here's a painting of the Mourns and we'll get back there soon. Or this is a painting of Murlock Beach and hopefully we'll get back to happy times. And, just people were so thoughtful and coming at me from all angles, basically, for themselves, loved ones, their homes, and in businesses as well. Sarah, a lot of people were doing Zoom calls and they wanted some vibrant artwork for behind their desk,
for curating their little
exactly.
studios.
And LinkedIn was a great platform for that, and I found that there was a sudden surge of orders coming from businesses that wanted to update their own, whether it be a home office or office that they're working from as well. So that was brilliant.
That is incredible. And I mean, for anybody that doesn't know Jacqueline's beautiful artwork, do check out her website. She did mention there the vibrant colours. She's sitting in front of me today in vibrant pink, and they are bold, but they're beautiful. And it is the landscapes, but perhaps never as you've seen them before. You're reaching these global audiences now too. Do you pinch yourself sometimes?
I actually do, every single day. I feel so grateful. I do wake up every day and write down why I'm grateful and thankful for what's happened. As you say, my artwork has been standing out and becoming very widely recognised as being something that is giving people, sort of an emotional response and uplifting them, whether it be their home or their place of work. And right now, the world is a bit grey around us, so I think people need colour more than ever. And what I try to do is infuse vibrant colours into the landscapes that I know and love, so that I can share them with the rest of the world and they can appreciate the beauty of where we are. So yeah.
You don't have too far to travel to appreciate and be inspired and, I suppose, do your work. Have you been able to get out and about and literally seek that solace yourself while painting?
Yes, indeed. I was very fortunate that my brother built me a garden room at the start of lockdown, and so it's a purpose-built studio and gallery in my home, and the views I have outside are from Carlingford Lough and the Cooley Peninsula and the Mourne Mountains, so it inspires me every single day. I also would have been taking my children for daily walks, and what happened over the pandemic, where every time they saw wildflowers, they were saying, "Mummy, it's like the colours in your paintings." So I started putting the wildflowers onto canvas, and that went viral, Sarah.
I think that's my favourite. I love it.
Yeah, people were buying them and just saying, look, they were like little splashes of colour, and just really give them a feeling of hope, so loved that.
Absolutely gorgeous. And your boys must be so proud of you too.
Yeah, my boys are just amazing. So Finn is 5 and Evan is 3.5, and they are just so proud of Mummy the artist. They don't know me as anything other than that. They don't remember me as a teacher, and it's so sweet. Finn and Evan both have their own wee easels and their own like any of my canvases that I'm not using, I give them, and they have their own wee shop set up. And whenever a customer comes or someone comes to pick up a painting to click and collect, as it were, from the website, they try to sell their own work as well, and they'll say, "Mum, see if they want to to buy this piece or that piece. And Evan, when we're in the car, he would say, "Mummy, quick, take a photo of Mummy, look at the sun going down over the mountains." Or they're so tuned in, and it's such a lovely feeling that they're absorbing that, the passion that I have, and they're seeing what I see almost.
That's amazing, sort of absorbing the light and the beauty of the landscape around them, rather than just being on the screens all the time. You mentioned there that your husband is also self-employed, so he also left his teaching career. So that's, both of you have literally followed your entrepreneurial dreams. Was that, who went first?
Well, basically, it sort of came out of the darkness came the light. Basically, we lost both his parents to cancer within 8 months, and in the same 18 months had our 2 children. And it was a real time of change and reawakening, and we just decided, you know what, life's too short. We've talked about it for long enough. Teaching has become a very stressful career, and I admire anyone out there who's teaching, and don't get me wrong, loved it and have happy memories, but it is a really hard career. And we both decided, let's give it a go. So I started first, and he went part-time teaching, and then he opened up his own converted horsebox coffee shop called Evanly Coffee, after Evan and Finlay, our 2 boys, and he serves in Rostrevor Square every weekend. And I think he's become one of the most popular people in the village, because his coffees and tray bakes are just amazing. So yeah, we're both we're kind of like ships in the night at the moment, but we're happier in ourselves, and our children are happier for it, so.
But do you think that it was the right time for you to do that? Because I often think, everything that happens in your life leads you to where you're supposed to be. I don't know if you feel that. I mean, could you have been an entrepreneur from leaving college?
No, absolutely not, Sarah. I wouldn't have had the confidence or even the passion or the enthusiasm that I do today, because I think I had to go through the years of the teaching and to appreciate really fully that I'm finally following my absolute dream, and Scott, my husband, is the same, so I don't think we would have appreciated it had we sort of embarked on that at 22 or 23 years of age. So we're both feeling very, very grateful right now.
Now, I said in the introduction that you have featured now in Vogue magazine, and you also have been called personally by the TV presenter Jay Blades. Now, for those of people out there who don't know who that is, where have you been? But tell us more. This is all very exciting.
It's very exciting. And again, this has all happened in the past few months. So basically, Jay Blades is a TV presenter I have followed and love everything he does. He is the presenter on The Repair Shop and Money for Nothing. And he is, you would basically recognise him as soon as you see him, but he's well known for his very stunning, vibrant upcycling of old pieces of furniture. So he brings them back to life in his own unique way, and uses very vibrant velvet fabrics and things like that. And I've always followed and loved his designs. And I remember saying to my sister, I'd love to work with that man someday. When we were laughing about it. So over the pandemic, I would think it was March time, I got a message, a voice note on Instagram from Jay Blades.
Wow.
And it was 7 a.m. I remember it very clearly. And he said he had seen my artwork, and it gave him shivers in the back of his neck, and he needed to talk to me, and it inspired him. So he rang me. And we had a lovely phone call for about an hour, and I couldn't believe I was on the phone to him, and every time I said to him, he said, "Look, I'm just a man and I just love your work, and we have to do something together." So thus the collaboration was formed almost. So he has a beautiful piece of my work, and he uses it now behind his designs. So on his social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, he will put some of his designs up, and my artwork is in behind then, so that one complements the other.
Goodness me, that's incredible.
And we're in touch still. There's a few other things hopefully in the pipeline that we're going to be working on, so it's very exciting. And again, then that opened up a whole new audience to me, Sarah, so a lot of orders started flooding in then from the UK, that people that wouldn't maybe have been familiar with my work prior to this. So
and what about the Vogue? How did that happen? Because it hasn't just been once, you've featured a couple of times.
Yes, the last 3 months, it would have been November, December and January issues. And yes, they found me on Instagram as well, and said they absolutely loved my work, and they felt I was a really perfect fit for their magazine and their readers, and they wondered would I be happy to feature my work in their gallery for their magazine. So of course I said yes.
No, I don't think so, sorry.
So again, that has opened up a whole new audience as well to my work.
This podcast is sponsored by Granite Legal Services, a niche business and immigration law practice located in the heart of Newry City. Granite Legal Services provides legal advice to both individuals and companies alike across a wide range of industries, from employment, commercial or corporate law matters to immigration law. Granite Legal Services focuses on providing legally sound, practical advice to its clients. To get in touch, visit www.granitelegalservices.co.uk or email us at inquiries@granitelegalservices.co.uk today. Well, it absolutely proves the power of social media for anybody that was still maybe not embracing it fully, especially for something so visual and so creative. You do not know who you'll reach with it, and all you need is that one influencer, that one connection, and then suddenly the doors are open and it cost you nothing.
Mm-hmm. This is it.
So what advice would you give? I mean, you are a visual person, you are a creative person. Social media, the likes of picking the right platform, I suppose, is crucial too, but Instagram is perfect for you. What tips would you give people if they're still uncertain as to how they do it? You talked about getting up at 5:30 in the morning, only because you're up anyway, and doing your social media. What advice would you give to people about managing their social media accounts and social selling?
Yes, I think the big thing for me is that I try not to be all about sales, and I'm trying to sort of let people get to know me as an artist, as a person, and hopefully enjoy my work and enjoy my posts. And the amount of people that say they look forward to every morning what I'm going to put up on, it brightens their day, or the colours just make their day, or whatever. So I think it's not about being salesy. I think it's just about sort of nurturing with your viewers, sort of nurturing that rapport again, and building up that you're consistent every single day. I think you need to show up every day, or you'll be forgotten, basically.
So every single day you post
Yes,
something. And do you have a strategy, or does it just come to you?
I do. I mean, I have fantastic advice from certain people that I've been working with, mentors and so forth. But it's more instinctive for me in terms of showing a piece that I've been working on or something from behind the scenes or whatever. It's such a lovely engagement and a really natural response to my work. And it's become almost, there are some people that are following me that from the UK, for instance, they say, that hopefully when the pandemic is fully over, they'd love to come over and visit Rostrevor and see the moorings and see the areas. So it's actually reaching people and letting them see the beauty of where we live. So I just love that, building up that relationship with my followers, and it's something I don't think I'm going to ever hand over. I think I enjoy doing it too much myself, so.
Well, I think it is that whole, I know it's not about sales, but people buy you as well and everything that you stand for and your values. And do you get many requests then for specially commissioned pieces?
I do. And unfortunately, time doesn't allow me to do a lot of those, Sarah. Very rarely now do I get to do a commission. Although it's quite nice because I know that the people that are buying my work are loving what I'm creating myself personally, and something is resonating with them, or whether it be the colours, the scene, or a memory or something. So I don't unfortunately have enough time, enough hours in the day to do the commissions at the moment. But it's something I have done in the past and enjoyed.
And in terms of your products, do you have original ideas coming all the time, or do you go to, do you know what, the wildflowers they sell? I'm going to keep painting those. What way do you work it?
I like to try new things as much as I can to try and inject a wee bit of life into my work. And sometimes you try something, it may work, and other times maybe not. The seascapes are my absolute favourite because being beside the sea is something that's very important to me, and there's something therapeutic about it. And even going down and sketching and taking photographs and just listening to the sounds of the water, there's just this lovely feeling of, as I say, escapism. I like to get that on canvas. So I have certain things that I personally enjoy. The moorings are close to my heart, where I was born as well. So, but I do diversify, and I think it's important to do that all the time, to try new things, just to see if it's going to, and how the response is with it.
Well, as you said, the landscape just keeps giving anyway, because it's never the same 2 days in a row. So do you have a particular seascape? Do you like the rough seas, or do you like something a little calmer?
I like one of my things that I'm most known for are my dramatic skies. So the sea sometimes can be the calm, and the sky can be the the tempestuous colours and things come in there. And a lot of people say they just love. There's times where I'm out with my camera and the sky is literally pink and orange, and I just have to get that onto canvas. And I think sometimes people think it wasn't actually that colour, and it was, and so it's trying to show what I see. It's trying to put that onto canvas to share with the rest of the world. So it could be just a moment captured, but just trying to get that onto the canvas.
And you just have to work straight away, do you? Do you just have to do it right
into
then
the night?
and there?
Yeah,
oh, goodness me. That must be incredible to be able to do that in the first place. I'm in awe. How important, I mean, obviously you've got that real connection with nature, and you live in the most beautiful place, and nature allows you to create and you're inspired by it, but do you make a conscious effort to be sustainable and eco-friendly with everything that you use?
Yes, I try to be. Sarah, one of the areas that I'm really trying to work on is packaging and making that as eco-friendly as possible. So recycling and using eco-friendly products as much as I can. So that's something that I've been working on and continue to. I'm hoping to integrate as much as I can so that nearly everything that I use now will be recyclable. That's the one area that I can really try and push for my art,
And your customers like that too?
Yeah, they're happy, as long as the painting is beautifully wrapped, they are very happy then to receive it.
Well, you sound incredibly busy, and we've seen that through lockdown as well. How you talked about the discipline and you talked about the early start, but you can only do so much, and then how do you manage the work-life balance, and how do you get time for you, or is painting time, has it moved from becoming a hobby to work? Can you get away from it, or do you not want to?
I just feel so grateful. It's a passion that it's never. I just say, there's a saying: "Is find something you love, and you'll never work a day in your life again." I genuinely do love the Sunday night feeling. I used to feel on a Sunday night, oh no, it's Monday tomorrow, and I know friends of mine would be ready to kill me when I say, "Oh, I can't wait, tomorrow's Monday, a fresh new week, I can get started." It's the lovely feeling in my job that I still have to pinch myself when someone asks what I do. I'm an artist, and I just still feel that gratitude for that. But a blank canvas, there's nothing more beautiful than a blank canvas and the possibility of what might go onto it, so I get excited every single week when I start again,
that's incredible. I mean, there's not many people that get to do that. I love Sunday nights. Now that you've got your studio built, which I'm sure has been a wonderful addition, so you can move out of the house a little bit instead of doing everything in the one space. What does the future hold, would you say, for Jacqueline Rooney Art?
Well, a lot of people have asked me about possibly tapping into, obviously, my experience as an art teacher, and maybe looking into sharing that with people, in the future, whether it be one-to-one or at small groups and things. So there's that possibility, in the future, that I could be doing little workshops and maybe have people come to the area on a travel experience and integrate that with the beautiful, immersing themselves in the beauty of where we are and trying to maybe create some lovely artwork from it.
So that sounds really exciting, and hopefully when people can start travelling again, that would definitely be a wonderful addition to any visit to this part of the world. Well, the purpose of this podcast is always to try and inspire existing business owners, but especially any ambitious entrepreneurs out there. So if anybody's listening to this, maybe with that artistic bent, and they don't know whether to follow their passion or do something a little more sensible, some might say, what would you say to them right now?
I would just say follow your heart and your gut instinct. This was always in my heart to do this. My granny, who's looking down at me now, always used to say, follow your, you're an artist and make sure and follow your dreams. And, she was right. She was very wise. And I do think she's watching over me now with all the things that are happening. But I just think, you only get one life. And the past year has shown us, how we just don't know what's around the next corner. And you don't want to live a life with regrets, and what's the worst that can happen? Just give it your all. And even if, as you say, you could be having the idea while working and maybe trying to, sow the seeds and do your homework and do your research and see what helps out there, because there's an awful lot of help out there, mentorship programs and things that are free and available. So I think, do a wee bit of research, ask the right people. There's a lot of help that people are only too glad to give you encouragement. And, so I would say, if you're considering something and there's something niggling at you in the back of your mind, just go for it.
And obviously, you and your husband, you've never looked back. Do you get to see each other at all now?
Well, I stopped for a coffee at the weekends when he's serving it. He was with me to midnight last night, helping me package and parcel up some paintings and things. So we do. Do you know? We're kind of like, as I say, we're complementing one another in our businesses, and weekends are where he trades mainly, and I would have the children, and vice versa. But then we have quality time together, and we get to spend, we get like going on like road trips and taking photos for my paintings and spending time with the children and stuff. So we try to make the time that we have really, really count.
It is carpe diem, and it's absolutely about doing it when the time is right, and the time is obviously very, very right for Jacqueline Rooney. You're going to have to get a little bit more help. At the minute, I hear your mum helps out, and your husband's packaging to midnight. Something's got to give here.
Yeah, it is. It's the next step in the business. Basically, Sarah, I've been sort of toying with it for quite some time, but I'm at that point now where I definitely have to look about hiring somebody properly.
Is that nerve-wracking?
Yes, it is. It is. And again, I've been asking different people, and they've taken the plunge, and they just said, you know what, it'll be a brilliant decision and a brilliant move forward. So it's finding that right person or people to help.
Well, I'm sure anybody that gets that position will be very, very lucky indeed. Jacqueline, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Give us a shout out for your website if anybody's listening to this now and thinks I must go and check out those wildflowers or those seascapes.
Yes, indeed. It's just JacquelineRooney.com, www.JacquelineRooney.com, and I'm on social media every single day, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter. So follow me on all of those and keep up to date with the new pieces that are coming out, because there's quite a lot coming in the pipeline now. So.
And if you struggle sleeping, she'll be on there from 5:30 in the morning, so you'll always have a friend. Continued success, Jacqueline. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much everyone for joining us today. You can join me on the next episode. So wherever you get your podcasts from, remember to keep an eye out for all new episodes over the next 6 weeks and subscribe to stay up to date. This podcast was recorded in Granite Podcast Studio. Interested in starting up your own podcast but don't know how? Granite Podcast Studio can help. Record your podcast in our state-of-the-art studio, which is based in the heart of Newry City. Our studio has cutting-edge and user-friendly technology and can seat up to 4 people. We also provide an editing service for our team, using your guidance and editing notes to provide you with a flawless finished product, leaving your listeners wanting more. For more information on how you can get started, visit www.granitepodcaststudio.com.